Okay, I got 5:30, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. Will the recorder please call the roll?
Sorry. Councilor Roberts?
Here.
Councilor Irvin?
Here.
Councilor Savage?
Here.
Councilor Fleck? Here. Councilor Stinnett?
Here.
Mayor Gowing?
Here. So item 3 is a bid award community center library roof. Mr. Sisson.
So you have on, I'll interrupt first. You have on your desk a new memo from we made some changes to the recommendation. The city attorney recommended some stuff to change and clarify there based on our city contracting rules. So you have a new recommendation there that references our contracting rule and a specific reason why that's listed in our contracting rules, why we want to reject all bids. So our recommendation is to reject all bids. There's only one, and we want to rebid it later. And then if you have any questions regarding the bids or the forms or the repair patch that we would be doing, Ryan's here and he can answer those for you.
Mr. Irvin.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hey, Ryan. Mr. Sisson. Is this for a asphalt or what kind of roof is this? Have we requested bids for metal roof somewhere in the 60-year range of lifespan?
Good question, Councilor Irvin. We have existing 23,500 square feet about of EPDM single ply roof, and in total above the old existing decking is about 1.5 inches of insulation plus a backing board plus the roof that needs to be replaced. And so what we have in the bid, or what the contractors bid on, was a 60 mil single ply with the polyaso insulation, and it's a TPO style roof. So it'll be white in color, more energy efficient, and that came with a 20-year warranty. I also did a bid alternate because I wanted to see what the 80 mil thick TPO roofing would look like in terms of price, and that came with a 30-year warranty. So
I'm assuming this is a flat roof?
it's fairly flat, okay. Yeah. It has to be cribbed up and so that it has slope, but most of it has a good 2% slope most places. Yeah.
Mr. Fleck.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the City Council, pursuant to City Public Contract Rule 137-049-0440, finds that it's in the public's interest to reject all bids for the 10-second community center roof repair project because the price and performance presented in the bid is too costly to justify acceptance of the offers.
Second.
I have a motion with a second. I just wanted to check, is caller 1 on there? Is that Councilor Soulsby?
It is. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. So we have a full council tonight. So is there any more discussion on that since we have a motion? Mr. Stinnett?
Yeah, I just had a question. In the staff report, it says after visiting with the contractors, it was recommended that a 20 by 60 foot patch and replacement of 6 roof drains would get the roof through the winter. Is that the contract, the Umpqua Roofing, the contractors we had talked to about the bid?
Yeah, Councilor Stinnett, we met with Umpqua Roofing and McKinsey Roofing separately, and they separately went up there to study the problem, not only to get prepared for the bid itself, but for this, what we've been calling Plan B, the 20 by 60 repair and then replacement of 6 roof drains, 3 pairs of roof drains that need to be replaced completely. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but in terms of who we talked to, they're the same contractors that reviewed the bid the most in most detail. McKinsey, okay. Incidentally, McKinsey Contracting or McKinsey Roofing said that they would not bid because the materials just were not available until after October, and insulation alone was not available until after the first of the year.
So would Umpqua Roofing be doing the work that we are going to have done, the emergency work then?
We're going to issue that request for quote separate from this. And it could be McKinsey, it could be Umpqua, it could be any other contractor. We'll probably send that request for quote out to 4, 5, 6 contractors. So Umpqua in no means they're locked into this.
Yeah,
Into the repair.
we'll be following our regular purchasing requirements for a $20,000 project under that. So it'll be a request for quote.
Okay. Thanks.
Mr. Fleck?
And I'm assuming that's below the threshold.
Right. Threshold's 100,000, so it'll be just staffed.
Any more questions, Mr. Irvin?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Do we get to, those drains aren't just going to get ripped back out? I mean, some of it will be just a holdover, but will some of that work and repair effectively lower the cost when we go ahead and do it? Will be used in the full roofing project, or is this just an emergency patch and then it's all just going to be lost cost and then it's going to be like a full roof again?
Well, there's 2 aspects to answer your question. We're going to repair the leaking at that location that we've chosen. So we're going to identify the worst of the worst, get us through the winter by replacing those drains that are leaking at the top of the drain pipe just below the catch. And there's some a gasket that's probably leaking and it causes the water to go sideways. So we're hoping to eliminate that. And that work, along with identifying, here's the second part of that, identifying the rest of the work that needs to happen more broadly in the general area under the big contract. So we're going to be able to better describe the work going into this when we rebid it, when we open it up and we learn more. Right now, we're just saying, contractors, go fix it under this big contract. We would like to save more money by better describing the work, which would increase the confidence of the contractors when they bid this so that their perceived risk is lower. So that opening it up and doing this Plan B repair this late summer is really going to help us. And hopefully it also saves us money because we're looking at it before we do the rebid.
So Councilor Irvin, this area that we're focusing on currently leaks pretty badly. And so they'll remove the material in this 20 by 60 location. It's also probably where we believe that it's going to enlighten us on some potentially rotten boards, 2 by 6 decking. So as we go through, yes, those products are going to be new and they will not need to be replaced when we do the full roof. And I believe some of the gutter repairs will be reusable. So there'll be a few things that'll be used again, but the roofing patch itself will be removed and it'll be one new roof coating when it's completed. Hopefully that helps.
If I could follow up to that, I mean, if it quits leaking, is it potential that we might actually get 2 or 3 more years out of it? And just, I don't, because usually we hear that the roofing material costs, or not just roofing, but all material costs are on an upward trend, right? And so right now we're saying just because the availability is not there, it's actually going to be cheaper next year. So are those the 2 kind of curves we're looking at trying to?
I don't think we went that sophisticated in terms of the curves. However, if you just take a general walk throughout the entire building, you see leaking on the false ceiling everywhere. And so we just need to fix the roof and all in one shot. However, we bid it at a time where the bid climate is high, giving us high prices, and contractors are saying the materials for that much volume or that much mass of insulation or roofing or brackets and clips, they're just not available. So we could not sign this contract and reasonably expect it to be done before the fall hits. I would concur strongly with Fay Stewart on what he said. We're going to get a good repair of some of the localized leaking, but I suspect that we're going to find other areas. We've also had damage. We've had vandalism up on that roof where vandals poked holes in the roof. They were patched, but they also could be areas of leaking as well.
And we have patched other places besides the vandalism where the roof is failing. It's reasonable, it's light, so we keep patching those. So the patch may have a few more years, but those other parts won't.
Ms. Savage?
When I had to replace my flooring, the contractor told me kind of what I needed to buy, and I was able to purchase my own materials, and it was much cheaper than if the contractor purchased the materials and then brought them to my house. Since we have these bids and we kind of know what we need, is there a way that we can begin to purchase some of these materials, and then when the bid goes out, that helps with that price?
No, that's a great idea, Councilor Savage. We actually did that on the irrigation project.
I remember that you did that with the piping. So there's a
Yep.
company that I've used for roofing the same materials in
Sure.
Eugene. And we've purchased our own materials, and it brings that bid price lower, not just because of materials, but the time and labor it takes to go get them.
Absolutely. So we'll take a look at that option strongly. Definitely.
And I guess one point on that is if the contractors are using the same kind of material, it may work. But frequently, the contractors are used to working with a certain product that they're certified in, that they're certified to have a 20-year or 30-year guarantee on, while the other contractor may be working on another version of the same product but from another manufacturer, that if we purchased one and they're the low bidder, they're not going to have that certification on. So the other things we'll have to look at too.
Sure.
And to follow up what Richard is saying, the manufacturers then come in order to certify the warranty, there could be some complexity if we purchased the material and the contractor didn't. And that's something that I've learned here talking to these contractors about this roof. And but it's an idea that in terms of purchasing the materials early so that they're here and ready to go. When we rebid, the idea here is that we get a contract in place. We're coming before council in January, and then contractors have 4 or 5 months before they start the project in May, June of 2022. So hopefully we're giving them enough time. However, your idea is perfect, and we'll look into early purchase.
And we ran into that problem installing fiber. We purchased the fiber first, and then we went out for contractors to install it. And there were some contractors that couldn't bid because we required them to be certified to handle that kind of fiber specifically. So we want to be real careful with that.
Any more questions? Okay, we have a motion with a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So before we adjourn, just everybody got a list on your table of your wastewater, water collector, and water system treatments, and with tentative dates and times on there. So get your groups together.
So join us for the Utility Tours 2021.
Can I remind the council that I need your hours from July 1st of 2020 through June 30th of 2021. And it's for the workers' comp that we need it for. So if you can get that to me, I'd appreciate it.
I also want to point out we had another bid opening we wanted to do today, but we're not doing it because we ran into some rules and requirements under BOLI and other things. For chip sealing, we were going to do $150,000 worth of chip sealing. But since it was over 100,000, it would have had to come to you, but it also then needed to meet some other requirements that we just couldn't meet and get it bid and moving forward. So we've actually done the chip sealing down to $999,950 and $950. So $50 under the limit. So we can award the chip sealing, and so it'll be a smaller project, but we may be doing something later in the spring to take care of that. So we have that for you today. But yeah, look at the utility system tours information. If you have any questions, give us a call. We're excited, and we're going to be doing a shakedown tour with the Watershed Council on the 21st of July, just to kind of see how it works. But if you can get us your list of the 3 citizens, please verify that they can come on those dates so that we don't have to do that part, and then we'll just send them out detailed information, where to meet, what kind of clothes to wear, stuff like that.
Is that 3 each on each?
Yes, so you'll notice on your tour group, you have 3 events. You have on group 2, which Councilor Irvin, you're in, you have an event on the 12th, 19th, and 26th. There's 3 different tours, and we want the same 3 people through all 3 tours. So they need to be at each one of those. We are arranging to have a Southland Wheels bus, we hope, take us everywhere. So we'd probably generally always meet here and then go to the places so we don't have to wait at the different locations for people.
Okay, if there's nothing else, we're adjourned.